Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwadner, and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today, we have the great pleasure of meeting with Ben Lytle. He is an author, he is a CEO, he is a futurist, and somebody that has a lot of wisdom to offer. Thank you for joining us today, Ben.
Thank you, Gerhard.
The book is called The Potentialist, Your Future in the New Reality of the Next 30 Years. That is a tall order, Ben.
That's correct. I hope I did well, but I'll let the readers decide.
What qualifies you to look into the future?
From the time I was in my early 20s, I was fascinated with two things, human potential, and then the collection of human potential, which is humanity, which is really the study of futurists and science fiction. It guided my design of businesses, and I've continued to always look to the future, try to figure out what's around the curve, not just build for today.
What are the three major forces, in your opinion, that shape the future for the next 30 years?
First is democratizing innovation. Every industrial revolution has been defined by making mass of something, mass production of goods, mass production of energy, whatever. I believe the fourth industrial revolution will be defined by the mass production of innovation. The second force is changing demographics. For the first time, we have better than a 50-50 chance of having the number of people in the world go down. The third force is the shrinking of distance. And I like to put it in this context. Since the beginning of time, we had three very clear restraining forces. First is the birth lottery. Whatever we got in a body and a mind, that was it. The second was distance, where distance was very important for food, for safety, for everything. And the third was how our choices of how we lived. We had very limited choices for a long time. All of those constraints fall away in the next 30 years. With the integration with automation, we basically can exceed our birth lottery. Distance becomes almost irrelevant. If we can make the way you and I are talking here today, it's not quite real, but it will become more and more real in virtual reality and ultimately in shared experience, that it'll feel like we're there. And when we do choose to travel, the innovations that are coming there is it's going to be faster, cheaper, and better.
So when you look at the state of the world, and in your book, you touch on a word that I think needs to be redefined, which is wisdom.
Yeah.
Let's start with that. How do you define wisdom?
Wisdom is the art of living well. It's really that. When you put it together, it's just living better. And why is it better? It has two parts. One part is perspective. So the nature of our lives, and particularly as lives get busier and busier, is we look down. And sometimes we look up. Maybe we think ahead about a vacation or we think about retirement. That we're looking straight ahead. Our lives don't allow us to look up. So looking back at history, looking back at how we got here, looking forward to what we could be, not just the current problems that cause us to plague us. So we have to change that. Secondly, after perspective is what you might call applied wisdom. To understand the way the world works, to understand who I am as an individual, to understand what I'm capable of, my potential, and am I living it? Am I giving it full out, everything I can? That's part of wisdom, but also applying it into decisions and actions that make a difference for me and the other people around me. That's the other half of wisdom.
What are the skills and the mindsets we need to develop to meet the new reality of the next 30 years?
Paying attention to your optimizing your health, optimizing your wealth, and optimizing means finding that spot where I have enough, but I'm not tied to I always have to have more. paying attention to relationships. All of us can improve on our relationships. Some people believe relationships in the future will be less important. I say they'll be more important than ever.
So what is the number one skill or mindset that you would advise future leaders need to adopt in order to be successful?
It's my favorite chapter in the book. Every author has their own chapter's favorite, right? My favorite chapter is the last chapter, and it's the redefinition of success. And to me, success, most important thing for the future, for anyone, but particularly in a time when entire jobs and careers, industries can disappear. The one thing that I found, again, interviewing these exceptional people over my lifetime, is when you put your head down on the pillow at night, that's when you know whether you feel like a success or not. And the people who feel like a success are the people that gave everything they had, and not perfection, but your best.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Gerhard.
The book is coming out when?
September the 27th. You can pre-order it now on Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
Well, thank you so much, Ben, for your time.
Thank you, Gerhard. I appreciate it.